Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and fan fiction it inspires. I'm Karlee.
I'm Sandra, and I am so excited to be able to introduce our guest today, Jessica. I was lucky to cross paths with this supernatural fan at the DCCon back in August. They are an entertaining stand-in line and wait buddy, and their enthusiasm for all things supernatural, especially Jared, is contagious. They are beautifully inspired by supernatural and have created amazing artwork. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, love of supernatural. And I just wanted to say thanks for joining us today for a chat, Jessica. So is there anything, Jessica, that you want to talk about to start? Like, we were just going to dive into, when did you start watching Supernatural?
So the first time I started was probably when it first aired.
Okay.
So I first started when it first aired, but only up until like season 5. Because I was too young to watch it. So I had to like VCH tape it and all that. So
did you just say VCH? You are so young.
I had a little tape recorder and I had to record it that way. And
okay.
My parents, my dad specifically didn't want me to. It was kind of like when I first started rebelling on like what he didn't want me to watch and what I wanted to watch. And I watched it, and then it was finally at season 5 when they brought in Lucifer. He really got up to the point where he's like, "No, you're done." So I ended up not being able to really watch anymore season 6 onwards.
Okay.
So when it finally hit Netflix, I kind of like watched. Basically, it became more Sam. So I could only skip like because I had to watch it in secret. So if it was a Sam episode, I'd watch that.
Okay.
So I was really up on what Sam was doing. If it was anyone else,
like me.
Yeah. If it was anyone else, I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. But then when it finally, the next time I watched it live again, it was actually the series finale. Yeah, the series finale. The next time I watched it live. And it just happened to correspond that when it went a few weeks later, my grandma died.
Oh, sweetie.
And the weird thing is Supernatural always like whenever I kind of like had a bad spot or something, this one episode, which was always Born Under a Bad Sign, was always on TV. And I don't know how it always managed that, but it did. So it was like Sam's episode always was there. I know a lot of people don't like the series finale, but for me, that's why it holds a special thing, because it was the first time I went back, watched it live, and it kind of helped me with my grandma. And that's what then like it ended, and I'm like, I'm just going to now watch it all 15 seasons, 100%. And my grandma always had this thing with me, and she goes, "Are you going to like a show in 5 years? Are you going to like it in 10 and 15? And she'd always keep it increasing the years. Because I stopped it. And it was like, even though I wasn't with it 100%, it just kept popping up. Like my high school years, it pops up. In my college years, it would pop up because people would talk about it. And when I started, it wasn't popular enough, so I didn't have people to talk about it to. And when I got into high school, it was always funny because it was like, so the first 3 seasons, I never watched those. And it was very lonely. Because the main seasons I was really allowed to watch were the first 3, so I was really up on those. And it's like, so I was up on where Cass comes in. It wasn't in those seasons.
Okay.
So I knew a lot of Cass people, but not a lot of Sam. So it was.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. It was a lonely world out there.
Yeah.
So in high school, was it more because it was like the Destiel stuff that was going on, or like you said, it was just Cass, like just?
It was the Super Hulock.
Okay.
That's what really did it in. But by that time, I was already kind of out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was really hard to get back into it because they were so far ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't have that time.
But you made time.
I made time later. I made time for all Sam. But I was like, but I always had enough. I knew what was going on. I was so confused when they were in the AU world. Because when you just jump in and you're like, where are we at? I miss so much. Sam's dead on the ground. The world's different colored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those moments when you just jump in. There was like, I jump in and there was like Jax there. I'm like, who is he? You have a child. Yeah, I was like, later when I got back, I was like, Jax like Cassiel 2.0, how he should have been done. That's how I always feel for Cass. I was like, yeah, me and Cass, we have problems.
Oh, look, it's like you're my best friend. Yes. Me and Cass don't have problems per se. Me and Misha have a lot of problems. And Cass is now just tainted by that, unfortunately.
My problems with Cass started at the moment when the levee breaks, when he opened the door, it doesn't own up to that problem. And I'm like, Cass, all the stuff you did to Sam, I'm not forgetting that. I want you to know that. All the stuff. Like, I have a problem with Bobby in that episode, too, because he's letting Dean do it. And then Bobby's just like, fine, I'm going to let you. I'm like, Bobby, it's your house. Own it up. Own it up, Bobby. You're over there going, well, we shouldn't do it. Then open the door. Whose house is this, Bobby? Your house. Whose panic room? Your panic room.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. I'd never even thought of that, but that is absolutely, it's your house, Bobby. Get your shit together, my guy. Yes. Fully on board.
Yeah, I'm like, Bobby, be the man of the house, buddy. So, yeah, that part, I'm like, I'm not forgiving you here, Bobby. I know a lot of people will, but nope.
Jessica, this reminds me of when we were in line and we were talking about certain things that absolutely drive you crazy about the show. So can you talk about your issue with John Winchester and first aid?
Tell me about John, Jessica. Tell me about John.
So I know a lot of people are like, they'll go like, well, John, he left his kids in like hotel rooms, all that. It's like, yes, I understand that, but let's break it down. John had taught his kids how to like shoot guns, do this, a lot of stuff. But John was in the military and they did have to teach him basic first aid. Okay. Which would incorporate some CPR. Those kids would have also had to have learned some CPR, I would believe, in school. Those kids, like, they showed in Supernatural, they know CPR. Like, some people could do it. Except for Sam and Dean, who believe CPR was, if I stare at them long enough, they will spit the water up. And it was like, John, you couldn't teach your boys how to do CPR? Like, what if Sammy walked by some pool, fell in the pool, and now Sammy is now going to be there, and Dean's only defense is stare at him. Like, we didn't think that far, did we? What if a demon pulled him into a pool of water? Nothing.
Oh my god, I've never even clocked that before. No, they just don't. No, they don't just stare at the other one. Oh my god. I'd never even clocked that before.
Well,
and then
like in Red Meat too. It's like they just stare at him. It's like I checked his pulse. Nothing. You don't want to do some CPR on him, dude?
You don't want to have a go? Yeah? Maybe call someone? Yeah.
Yeah, no one. It's like other characters in the show have established we can do CPR. So it's like CPR does exist in Supernatural. Okay. Except for those two. John, I feel like we missed something in the training regimen. I'm also counting Bobby in this. Anyone who touched him, you guys did not do CPR on those boys.
Oh goodness.
How do you get to stitching up your own wounds? Never mind your brother's wounds, and you've missed this vital, crucial part of first aid. Like, yep. So this is how you put a dislocated shoulder back in, and here's how you stitch up your own arm, and this is this, and we're just gonna leave all that. Just don't even know. Just stare at them.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
I'm highly sure they're going to be poking with sticks first. They're like, poke him with the stick. He's good. He twitched. I think.
Oh god. Yeah, it's like me, and he's just, well, there was no pulse, but I'll come back for him. It's fine. It's fine. He'll definitely come back to life while I've got. Oh my god.
The other one was the Michael Dean, Jessica.
Oh yeah.
It's season 14.
Michael Dean. Now, I love Michael Dean's outfit. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the best outfits. But the moment where it's like, because it's the episode where he gets repossessed and he's in his hunter's clothes. And then the very next episode, he's in Michael Dean's clothes, like slicked back hair, 100%. And my thing is, everyone else is still in their clothes that they had, except Dean. And they never established an angel can just like snap fingers and go with like change their clothes. So my mind immediately went, so he's stripped in front of everyone? Like, he's strip teasing. He's going hair. And none of you guys want to attack him at that point? Or were you just amazed?
Oh, God.
I mean, if Dean Winchester's stripped down in front of me, but attack would not be my first thought. I've got to be honest. My first thought might be to pull up a chair, you know, and that's if I'm being charitable that I value my life against Angel Mojo. It depends how valuable I feel my life is. It's definitely not going to be. Quick, get him! He's got a shirt over his head.
But again, I just want to know. It's like I've asked other because when I went to Charlotte's Con, I asked some people that, and they're like, and they were also Dean fans, and they were just like, no, he just snapped his fingers. That's clearly the thing. It's like, you guys don't want to imagine him strip teasing in front of people?
Well, I do now.
Yeah.
Well, I do now.
It's like, come on, guys. That he wasn't snapping the fingers. Even the trickster could not snap his fingers and change his clothes. Like,
yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, for like the Changing Channels episode. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We never
snapped them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he never snapped, changed clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, guys, he's not snapping and changing clothes.
A lot to think about. See, things I never would have. Like you just take it at face value. It's like, okay, whatever. I guess you're going with that.
See, the reason that one came to me was because it's like because it was like everyone, like Cass's face is still bloody, and it's like, so clearly it's like what they call like it's like, I think it's like a hot set or something, where it's like they have to keep the set the same. And so it's like, okay, so the stage has to be set the same for the next scene to go over. So it's like, well, why are you not in the same clothing? So everyone is clearly like same position, same everything, but him. And that's what was bothering me. I'm like, it'd be a frozen set. Why are you stripping in this frozen set, buddy? So I had to come up with an idea. So that also inspired an art piece because I'm like, well, I'm stripping them. No one's stripping them. I will strip them.
Are you working on that now?
No, it's in my like 21 list of. Okay. I'm also like, no, it's like, no, there's not enough fan fiction of no stripping Michael. I'm like, guys, he was stripping. Come on.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to put that in my list of stuff to deal with now.
I was even shocked for the Dean Cass fans. I'm like, guys, you look for so much small things, and you didn't see the stripping Dean?
Oh, yeah.
He's there.
Goodness.
In front of everyone. That's something I want to ask him, too. I need him to explain to me that stripping.
Oh, well, let's talk about conventions, because I found out when we like first met, we started talking a little bit more, that you'd also been to the Charlotte convention in 2021. am I correct in remembering that was also your first con?
That was my first supernatural con.
Right.
My first ever con was Dragon Con.
Okay. But with supernatural, that was the still everybody trying to figure out COVID and stuff like that, and then the next one after that was DC Con. Talk about your first convention experience for us a little bit and what that was like.
So my first convention was it was Charlotte, and one, it was very much different than bigger con, but it was more organized in a way.
Well, that's great, because I did not think that way. But you go ahead, because you have more experience with conventions.
I had a very different experience to you, I think.
The nice part I found was I didn't have to stand out in Atlanta heat, and not worry if I was going to be in a con hall or not.
Okay.
Because, like I said, the first cons I ever been was DC cons, so that meant kind of you pay a cheap price for a badge, and then you have to stand in really long lines, and then you might or might not get into the panel you want.
Okay.
And then maybe you wasted an hour, and then you're like, well, I could have done something else.
Okay.
To maybe not get in that panel. And it was that would have been the same with if you're trying to get an autograph for someone and everything, you could be waiting in a long line and maybe not get their autograph.
Okay.
So everything was almost a by chance, except for if you got a photograph where you definitely paid for. Those were even sometimes rushed so fast that you're like, hi, and then it was so fast. But this one, it was more slower.
Okay.
Everything. So you're like, okay, well, I have my seat. The other thing was again, at the DC cons is you might not ever get to see the vendor hall.
Okay.
Depending on how you scheduled yourself out. And it's just very claustrophobic. This one, again, it's not like you're claustrophobic or anything, because there's a limited amount of people there.
Yeah.
The first one, because it was COVID, that was just stressful because it was masked and everything. And I had no real clue what I was doing.
And were you by yourself for that one?
Yeah, I was by myself.
Okay.
That one. So I kept jumping group to group to group on that one.
Okay.
I was just joining groups. I was like, so hello. How you doing? That one also, all I did for that was I had one photo. It was with Jared and Jensen. I had no clue what I was going to have them do until the day of that photo, because I was so well prepared.
You fit right in with us.
That's exactly. Have you not got the vibe that we're exactly the same now?
I had them. I was gonna have them sign all their pop Ficos I had.
Okay.
So I had the normal Sam and Dean, and then I have it's Leviathan cast, or what I like to call Death cast. Because it's literally the moment right before he explodes.
Okay.
And I was like, it's the only cast I was ever going to own. And I'm like, well, if I own any casts, it will be the moment of his death. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the one I had him pick. And then they were like, what I realized in signing, when you tell them where to sign, it's almost like an experiment. Because it was really funny. Because besides the fact that Misha was I don't know, having the worst day of his life at times. They all signed in different places on the boxes, which I find so funny, because it's Misha signed on the plastic. Jensen signed on the face into the plastic, because his name is I feel the longest name ever. And then Jared, whose name is longer than Jensen, fits all on the little paper piece. And I just love it, because it's Jensen, you take up so much room, while Jared fits it all in this little space. And the thing
but then Yeah, but then if you look at it, Jared just squiggles. Jensen, you can read Jensen's autograph really clearly. Jared's just like, I can't even. I have Sandra gifted me a Jared autograph from, I think was it from Charlotte Sandra?
Yeah, it was from Charlotte.
And I can't make out one single letter. It's just a whole everything. And I'm like, you don't even try, do you? You don't even start out with a J. What is happening here?
Jared's one I feel with because that's how I write my autographs stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel with it.
Okay.
That's how I do it. It's like, yep.
There's maybe a tiny bit of judgment because you can at least identify the first letter of my signature. Yeah. And I don't know how you start out with a squiggle. Like if you started with a J and it went off, I'd be like, yeah, all right. But there's nothing. It's just loop.
The other thing on that day, on the Sunday, because even though we had to do like plexiglass and there was like 2 tables between us, again, Misha was cranky the first day. And then Jensen, I'm really bad at like just talking to any person. Like it doesn't matter if it's like a celebrity or just a normal person. I will probably not be able to talk to you. But like on Friday, I actually got to talk with Jake.
Oh, nice.
Because they were messing up so much that ended up being the last person in Jake's line. Jake was like, so how are you doing? And everything. So I ended up getting to talk to him and he's like, remember, drink lots of water. And he goes, I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's like, good. So I ended up getting to talk to him and then Adam Fergus thought he was done. And he's like, jumps up, celebrates. And then he's like, I am done. And it's like, and then I come up and he goes, and looks at me. And I'm like, I still have to get your signature. And he's like, dang it. And then, because there was a lot of Jessicas. And then he goes, what's your name? No, he signs it. And then I go, can you personalize it? Because he was personalizing. And he goes, yes. And I go, and he goes, what's your name? I go, Jessica. And he goes, of course it is.
Wow.
And then he has to go. And then he signs, you rock. And he goes, you rock because you do. It's like, but yeah, my Friday one was so messed up because while I was also in David Hayden Jones, someone had collapsed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was right behind a few people behind the person who collapsed.
Okay.
So my first convention was very eventful.
It sounds it really
how about
does.
The plexiglass part though? Like I know when so that was my first Supernatural convention too. And I think initially I was like, oh, won't be able to hug them, won't be able to touch them. But I was almost like, you know what? This is a good ease into thing because I don't know how I would have done first convention, touch, hug, all that stuff. So how were you with because you said you didn't think about it like until the day of like what to have them do. How was that experience? Was that the first time you like saw them up close too? Because you wouldn't have gotten there. Did you not get their autographs until Sunday night? I don't remember how Charlotte went anymore.
Charlotte was all autographs Sunday.
Okay.
Because
all right.
I remember that because that's where Jared had like the train S line because he was taking forever.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was a really long line. Mm-hmm.
The one thing real fast before I go to my autograph photo, which was when I got Jared's autograph, Walker was just kind of brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Walker shirt on. And so he signs it and I'm walking away. And while I'm walking away, he noticed my shirt and he just pulls down because he had a mask on during that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the mask was for at times for that boy. But he pulled down his mask. Like it was like, Jared, I can probably hear you with the mask on, but I love you.
I wonder how he's managed to catch COVID 3 different times. What a mystery, Mr. Padalecki.
But he pulls down his mask and he goes, I fucking love your shirt.
Mm.
And I'm like, And so, because I wasn't prepared for him to talk to me, because I couldn't, like, again, I'm like, I probably will not talk to a person. I'm just not really good at that. So when he said that, I'm like, I'm just going to walk away now. Yeah, that shirt, I'm like, so I was like, I love my shirt now really a lot. Because again, it was like, I think it was probably one of the first times he would have seen the shirt.
Okay.
Because again, Walker it was still in its first season.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really new.
Mm-hmm.
And on Rubble Bubble, I think it only had like 2 different designs.
Mm.
So,
and plus it was one of the first new conventions, that they even started back up after COVID. So I imagine he wouldn't have had a lot of interaction, with fans and Walker, like merchandise and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Ew.
For my photo op, I was like trying to figure out, because I know a lot of people are doing like heart to heart with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was going on Twitter looking through stuff. And I looked at, someone drew a picture of them doing hearts to each other.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it. They're not going to do hearts to me. They're going to heart each other.
Aww.
I love that.
And then I will crop myself out.
But that's your profile picture, right? Isn't it? Isn't that your profile picture on Twitter?
I think my Twitter now should be me being like squeezed to death by Jared.
Okay, and that's for DCCon, yes, because I know Karlee has questions. Questions about that one.
Lots of questions.
That one has a big story on that one. Yeah, I have a personal love for that one. And Jensen's placement, which wasn't how I wanted him placed, but I ended up loving it.
Well, Jessica, do you remember I had said I have a friend in the UK and I need to know, you need to tell me how does, like, I need details. Like, I need to know about the hug. Like, tell me about the hug. So this is the friend. This is the friend that needed all the details.
But yeah, no, when I did the heart one though with them, Jared killed me on that one too, because the person before me asked for them to flip.
Wait a minute,
what? So it was originally Dean, not Dean, Jensen. It was Dean. It was Jensen and Jared, and then the person before me asked them to go Jared Jensen.
Oh, I thought physically flipping, like they had to do cartwheel.
Yeah, they had to cartwheel it. No. So Jared was by the plexiglass, and then they came up to me and they go, "Do you want them to move?" And I'm like, "No." He's right there. I am happy.
Oh,
the picture, they had to like bend down some.
Mm-hmm. They had to lean in. They had to lean.
And the full picture is funny because it's like you can tell even like Jensen has to, and it's like with his arm and everything. And it's like, Jensen, you're so short to him. That's always what I love about those photos. It's like, you're short boy. And then when I'm walking away, I just happen to look back and he winks and smiles, and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk away now.
Aww.
And that was before, and since that was before the photo, the autographs, I'm like, I'm already like half dead. And then he does the shirt thing, and I'm like, I'm good.
Oh goodness. Well, Karlee, I want you to ask all that you want to ask about DCCon and all that good stuff.
In the least creepiest way possible, because what I'm about to say is inherently creepy. You have hugged the man. Please tell me that he smells good. Tell me exactly what he smells like, because she told me in graphic detail what Jensen smells like, but she couldn't remember. She wasn't that close to Jared, who was, in all fairness, being a bit creepy with your husband. But still, please give me all the details. I need to know what it's like.
The first time I hugged him, I actually ended up getting to hug him twice. because we had a mistake. So I got a solo with him, and I ended up getting 2 hugs with him. And the boy has like, I forget what he said because I ended up blanking out, but because basically I got all the mint bubble gum.
Yes.
And it was like, you can tell me anything you want right now, but mint bubble gum was just all there. I'm like, just keep talking.
I knew it. I knew it.
That was like the first one. It was like, and mint bubble gum.
Yeah.
Because I was wearing the same shirt I was wearing at DC. Because he was telling me at that time, because it was in the photo booth area. So he goes, I like your shirt still. I'm like, I'm glad we have the same response to the shirt, and I shall remember this.
So he actually said, I still like your shirt?
No, it was
okay. I was like, wait a minute. You made a really big connection.
No. My big connection was like the next day.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
The next day, we like this one was like, he goes, I like your shirt. And then I was walking away when he said that, and then Chris was like yelling at us that I had to go back to take the photo again. Now, that one, I was able to breathe on my solo photos. Like, he was bending down a lot, but I was able to breathe. Like, there was no soul-crushing hug. I want that noted. I was not being killed.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I would want that anyway. Like, I'll die on this hill. It's fine.
Oh, no. You'll understand why I'm saying no soul-crushing hug in a moment. Because there were levels of hugging.
No doubt. Warm in here? Hey, I'm fucking freezing in the UK, so that's a mystery.
And then the next day, because I did the autographs on Saturday. So he had seen my picture I gave him, had him autograph. So the next day when I did the photos, I did the first photo I did with them. Then the next day was them with baby.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
she got the baby photo. I was like, oh my God. She didn't know what she was going to do then either.
No, I didn't. They've opened it up more. That did because that was the first ever one.
Yeah.
It was more like just get between them. Jensen said something to me, and I think he said hi or something, but I can't really remember because Jared was talking to me, and I was like, Jensen, I'm sorry, Jared's saying something, and I need to listen to him. So
Genuinely deceased. How many people in life do you reckon go, Jensen? Right. Jared, go. Yeah, I bet that never happens. Deceased.
Yeah, so because Jared made the comment, and I still to this day want to know what he was talking about. Because he goes, because I was just wearing like this plaid, and then the shirt technically had a picture on the back, which was a picture of baby and stuff, but he couldn't see that. And I wasn't wearing anything like overly big, but he goes, I should have wore those too. And I was just thinking, I'm like, should have wore what too, Jared?
Jared, please. What? Did you have boots on that looked like Sam boots, maybe?
No, I was wearing my Hoka shoes. And I know he has Hokas.
Oh, maybe.
So
then.
I'm like, did you want to wear Hokas too? Do we want to talk? We can go out like to that corner and talk about this.
You want to get a coffee? Let's talk about this. No, I'm looking at your picture now. He's wearing his Sam boots because he always wears them.
Yeah.
His only boots.
The thing I love about that photo for the baby one is like he's leaning like way over onto my head. Because like he like when I walked up, he was like a big like hi, like he knew who I was at that time. And I'm like, Because again, this is after those autographs now. And Jensen said, again, he also said hi. But
he also said hi.
Yeah, he did.
Jensen was just
He was there. He
was there.
He was just decoration.
I'm receiving inside right now. Like, what do you mean
No,
he
I
was
think
just there?
I think it's so cute. It's so cute. I love listening to this stuff. Go ahead.
Then the thing I just also love about the photo is like you can almost split it in half. Whereas like clearly me and Jared.
Yep.
And then Jensen just looks like he's having a moment with baby.
It looks like, I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if we post it on the podcast account, but Sandra has a picture, a quad with Misha, J2, and Alex. And it like, Misha and J2 are at least trying to do something. And it genuinely looks like someone went, it's unbalanced, and just shoved Alex into the frame. He's just slouching with his hands in his pockets. Like, he has no idea what he's doing there. And Jensen looks exactly the same, like, oh, I could just fucking leave then. Fine. I'm gonna stand here with my car. Fuck you guys.
That's what I love about that photo. It's just like, he just looks like, I'm just gonna be by this car. And then you guys just
commiserate.
yeah. It's like, I wasn't even really like aware Jared was leaning on my head. Until I found out cute, in that photo, I'm like, oh, he was leaning on my head. Oh my gosh.
So do you have your arm around the back? Because I can't see your hand. And I know Jensen's quite
they're behind both of their backs.
Well, I can't see either of your hands. They could be anywhere, Jessica.
They could be. But yeah. And then his arm is also behind my back and stuff.
Yeah.
So like we're
cute.
hugging like each other, and then Jensen's again, he's just kind of
just there.
And then I had to then go for my last photo, which was with I did 2 J2 photos. And the first one I had them do, which was I wanted the barn scene. And everything. So I had them do that one. And then I was finally going to get my hug. And now, the original intent of this hug, I had it in my mind. It was going to be like a hug sandwich with like Jared and Jensen and then like me in the middle. Mm-hmm. It didn't end up that way. Because when I went in and after they did the barn scene, Jared goes, bring it in. And I'm like, I will. Now that at that moment made me forget Jensen was there. And the reason I said, unlike the first photo where it wasn't like soul crushing, when I brought it in, he then wrapped around and crushed, like you could not breathe at all, which is why it looks like I'm like literally like he's just crushing, which then made me like go as hard as I could on him, which I didn't realize if you start squeezing him harder, he squeezes back harder. Oh yes. Oh, so the photo literally then ended up like that's like a squeezing hug fight on one side, and Jensen's just there.
Yeah.
He looks happier to be there the second time, though.
Oh,
he
looks like he's holding you guys together too, like just to make sure there's no connection broken, like that. That's what I'm getting.
That is a piece of Jared trivia that I will take to the grave. If you hug him tighter, he hugs back tighter.
Did he still smell minty bubble gum that day too?
Oh my gosh, he was very minty. He was.
I knew it.
He was so minty. So like, but the baby one, because that's where the smokers were.
Oh, okay.
So you had like the smokers out there.
Yeah, they had a weird. It was like right off to the side, like when you go out into the entrance. It was like right there off the side where people would just go out, on any day and just like, well, this is where I'm going to go smoke.
Yeah. But he was able to like they're like smell like especially Minty Boy. It's like could cut through the smoker. It's like Minty Boy, keep going.
Yeah, that's because he's never not got gum in his mouth though. The only time he doesn't have gum in his mouth is if it's in Jensen's trailer. I've watched it so many times. But he's always Always is gum. Oh, I knew he smelled like mint. I knew it all this time. I knew it.
Yeah, it was like bubblegum fresh. It was like, because again, he just like said something and it just happened to be like right there. I'm like, it's all just right there in my face. I'm like,
Yep.
like I'm not complaining here, guys.
So did he?
I'm not going to be able to think for the rest of the day.
Does he bend, like when he's talking to you? Did he bend down, or was it just like directionally, like just like just cocked, like head cocked down and stuff? Or was he like, did he get into your space to talk to you, or was it just from above? You got the minty bubble gum.
That one, it was because he had to be in position. So when he was in position, he said it, and it was like, and hello. Most of the time, if he talked, it was he wasn't really bent. But yeah, the last two though, he like was aware of who I was.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's so nice.
But yeah, no, it was yeah, those ones were much more special than the first one I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, the last one again, I was like, I really wanted Jensen on the opposite side. But I'll live with it because I am much more happier with the Jared causing the whole problems here with bring it in. I'm like, yep.
And those photo ops were well earned too, because you had to stay in line for a few of those. That was quite the thing, because I remember a couple. What was it? Two mornings in a row where we were like, okay, we're gonna get in line real early. Sure, we're gonna be able to get these photos.
Yeah, I had to do the photo ops for Jared because they were sold out online, and then most of the ones I was with you were to get autographs. So many autographs.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the first con, I only did the autographs that they had on the gold. I'm like, that's it. This one, I don't even know how many autographs I did.
Well, there was a reason for it, right? Because of your artwork. Yeah.
And that was actually the first time I've ever took one of my art pieces and had people sign it.
Now, can you describe it? Because we're going to put a link in so that people can see it. But can you describe the poster that you created?
Okay. So it's a I'm trying to figure out what it's called. It would be like a title poster. So like in the middle, it was their final scene of them being alive. All at one time. And I had different ways how I wanted to do it, but I thought it would be cooler if in the closest spot to where Dean's dying, it's the 15th season. So it's basically like goes around and it ends with like carry on. And then while it branches out, it goes all the way back to like the pilot. So while you're going in closer and closer, you're getting to the ending of. And I was debating on like the heaven scene when they get together or his death scene. And the only reason I didn't go with the heaven scene was it doesn't have the same emotional impact as him dying. So I wanted like the most emotional impact. Because the heaven scene, you're more like, oh, they're back together. And all that. Well, that one, it's
you just want people to be utterly gutted.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Just suck everything out of me.
If anyone saw my thing for today, the picture of that one picture of today.
Oh yeah, with John and Mary.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yep.
The title of that was like how we should feel for the gutted things.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so it's basically it going in and closing them out. And that's why I didn't want it to be in heaven, because it's like heaven's almost a continuation, but that's it, them on earth. And we can all have the debate. Was it a dream for Sam, or did he die on his last thing? like when he leaves Miracle.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't think Karlee and I have ever gone that way. I have not. Are there people that
there are people who question, like, I think it's a werewolf thing. He gets a call for Bon Jovi and to go on one last mission. And when he clicks off the lights, and some people actually question, like, does he even make it out of that?
Okay.
And what we're seeing there is just like what Dean wishes. And everything. So that's not even true. That's what Dean wishes happened.
Okay.
Which is why the wife is blurry.
Interesting.
And everything.
Okay.
So
I try really hard not to think about the last episode. I try really, like, I'm like, my personal philosophy is, isn't it weird that they ended it on an odd number? 19, that's so weird.
That's the other thing I always thought was kind of cool with it, which, because I read an article about that, which was they have two endings. And it was the fact of, if you didn't like the ending of 20, you could watch 19 and it ends perfectly fine there.
Make up your own. Yep.
And I thought that was always a cool thing of they gave you two endings and it was choose your ending.
Yeah.
So I thought that was actually a cool thing that they did do, which was you could choose it. But I needed heartbreak.
We are different people. I did not need that fucking barn scene. I did not. I hate the last episode for so many reasons. But have you ever heard Jared talk about Mystery Spot and how much he fucking hated filming? Because he was like, I had to be sad for a week. It was awful. And I feel the same way about the barn scene, because I've seen so many interviews where he's like, let's keep it all inside, not cry Sam's tears, and wait until the cameras roll. And I was like, you tortured those babies. They gave you the best 15, well, maybe not the best, but they gave you 15 plus years of their life, and you fucked it at the end. You ruined it for them. I hate it so much.
But that's why I went ahead and made like two different other versions of the same poster, where it just spins around.
I think the art is beautiful. I really love it, and I can take that photo out of context and be like, yeah, that could be anything. That could be any episode. Maybe they're thinking about how they wish they knew CPR. I can take that out.
Going, oh man, I really wish
we'd learned how to do this at any point. But I can, like, that could be a scene from like the early. They've died loads of times. Yeah, that could be a scene from anywhere. But just the whole like enclosing them in the episode is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and it was so. But I was like looking through because there's other shows that have title posters, and I'm like, I feel like someone's made a title poster for Supernatural, and I was looking on Etsy and all that. I'm like, no one's made a title poster. I'm like,
because there's so many episodes.
It's like 320.
Yeah, well, 326 if you don't count.
Exactly.
And I was like, and I'm like, they have really cool names and stuff. And I'm like, come on. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then it would be really cool then if you want to take it, get it signed and all that. And so I'm like, I'm gonna do it for myself so I can get it signed. And I really never thought about selling it and stuff. So I went ahead and did that and got it printed. And then it came the thing of who could sign it, because there's only about 1,000 guest stars. And then you had to go and judge their worth. And you're like, well, you were on this for 2 episodes. And I don't think you're worthy. But you were on for 5. But you were important. So, yeah, you became then like, you felt like the judge, like a judge and jury of people and their worth. And that became fun because then you were like, who's worthy of this? And after then doing that, it was like, then when I had to keep going up and giving it to everyone, it was like making sure that no one touched the boys, which was like,
Oh, that must have been difficult.
it was like a thing in itself. It was like, so where can I sign? Anywhere but on them. So no touch me zone on the boys. And
Reasonable.
I was like, I feel like for most of you guys, you're gonna understand this. I didn't trust Misha. Because I just felt like, I'm like, if anyone's gonna do this out of spite, it will be you.
If anyone was going to F it up, it would have been Misha. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jack, Alex was giving me the hardest time. And it wasn't because of him himself. It was because of his line. It was like every time I was in that boy's line, it was like, okay, I'm in his line. I'm in his line. We have to cut his line. You've got to be kidding me. I've got photo ops, Jack. I've got photo ops. And I have about 12 other autographs. And you are messing up the day.
He did mess up the whole day because he was late.
Oh my gosh, he was late. I had to go actually, because usually he's on the gold one. For the autographs. And this was the first con he was not on gold.
Mm.
And I'm like, Jack, you're meant to be on gold. I had a whole plan. You're going to be on gold. I'm going to here. You're going to be on Sunday night. You're now not on Sunday night. I have to now pay for you. You're now not, like, after this con, you're not scheduled for any more cons. So I have to get you here. I was ticked off with Jack. I'm like, I love you. And you have to be signing this paper. So no, I was like very frustrated with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like a whole group of them where I'm like, okay, we're T-minus this much from the thing. Richard Spate is still here. Richard Spate's no longer here. He's probably at Kung Fu. I have it out for Kung Fu because every time I feel like he's not there, he's at Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
So me and him,
yeah,
it's a running thing I have with him. I'm like, is he at Kung Fu?
why are you not here, Rich? Rich, please, you need to be here.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you support Kung Fu? Because they keep him away.
They keep stealing him. Yeah,
it happened both times with it happened also at Charlotte. I have a thing with Matt where I go, I won't buy nothing of Matt until the day of. Because Matt doesn't know how to cancel about 5 weeks in advance. He knows how to cancel the day of.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there, you walk in, and it goes, Matt has canceled. And it goes, well, Matt, that would have been nice
to know
before.
Yeah.
So I had to get Matt's signature because I was like this. I need a John.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm going to get
John will do.
I was like, and I don't think I'm going to get Jeffrey Dean Morgan anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Matt's signature. Matt gave me the best line ever for anyone to sign of the guest stars. He just goes, you're going to have to hang this up. And I was just thinking, thanks, Matt.
Wow, really? Thanks for that, babes. I thought I'd get you all to sign it, pay for all these
and
autographs,
just stick it in my closet.
Yeah, it's not even coming home with me. I just thought this would be a fun thing to do. I might
on the
have been it on the way out. Thank God.
Yeah, I was just like, thank you, Matt. Brianna was amazing because when I got hers, she was the only one to be able to sign on an episode of her own.
Yeah.
Did she pick Hibbing? Was it Hibbing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to look up I couldn't remember the episode. And it was the episode her and Kim met.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, I'm like, it wasn't even your first episode. You knew the episode you and her Kim met.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is just so amazing.
Yeah.
And it didn't even take her any time. She just like, bam, I know it.
She knew it.
I'm like,
zoned in.
Can I say as well that I love the fact that she squiggled and it's still B, it's clear as fuck, and then she's just written Donna. Cute as fuck.
Yeah, like she was like so good on it. It was like she knew exactly where her thing was. And then yeah, she was like she knew where hers was. Then when I told Kim where to sign, like whatever you do, don't sign on the boys. Her response to me was after she signed, she's like, I like how your thing was you can sign anywhere, but just don't fuck up the boys. It was like, thank you, Kim.
Aw.
Kim gets it. Kim gets it.
But the other thing was because I told him like I was like giving them space. I'm like, well, you can sign wherever you want. And I thought it was kind of funny. It was like, again, it was like an experiment. It was like Kim and Brianna was like signed in the same spot. Misha
Who's in the top right with the love heart?
That should be okay. Matt's over there. That's Rob Benedict.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I can see it now. I can see it now. Wow, you didn't even get a Misha out of Misha. Usually get a Misha. You got an M and a dash and a C and then a squiggle.
It's not shown on there, but Jack will be over by Misha.
Okay.
And then I have underneath, it should be underneath Jensen. Yeah, it's closer to a little bit below Jensen and stuff. I got David Hayden Jones.
Oh yeah.
And he writes Catch on there.
Who's in the Jared?
Tomo Penniket.
Oh,
Okay.
cute.
And he was so funny because when I asked him to sign, I was like, again, I was like, not on the boys.
Oh yeah, he
and
put Gadriel, didn't he?
I don't know if he wrote Gadriel or
It looks
not.
like he did underneath.
He
At
might
least
have.
that looks what it might be. Yeah.
But when I told him, he goes, never on those lovely boys.
Oh, he's a fucking sweetheart. I love him.
And I ended up putting this on Instagram and I tagged everyone in it. And he went ahead and liked it on Instagram.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And this corner, the corner one by Route 66, that's Sam.
Okay.
Smith. And then
I'm glad you clarified that because my brain went, he's over there. That's like Adam the brother and Adam the actor.
And then I got Jake Abel and DJ Qualls.
Okay.
And so she confused me at first because she was like anywhere, and then she confused me because she was the first one to sign it. Sam was, and I didn't realize she was asking to sign on the words. And I was like, and then Brianna was the first one to sign on the words. And I'm like, at first I was like, I don't know. Do I want them to sign on the words? And then she did. I'm like, you know what? I actually like that. Yeah. I'm like, but again, it was kind of funny because like some of them were like pairing up on their own. But Sam had she has her own corner. Like she signed that corner first, and then no one went around her. It was like her corner. And I'm like,
that's Sam's corner.
Yeah, and then Jensen, I had to direct them to where Jensen was meant to sign. I was like, yes, Jensen, you're signing on yourself.
Jensen, please sign this on your face. I know I have ignored you this entire con, but for this one thing on your face.
And then he looked somewhat at it. And then when I was walking, and then I kind of like said hi, and then I told him thank you, and then when I was walking away, he goes, I need to tell Jared something. I'm like, oh, what do you have to tell Jared? And then this was
like looking around like, yeah, go on.
Oh, well, this was how filled my like whole thing of like Jared was. So like he's saying I have to tell Jared something. When I was at Misha's table to get him, Jared happens to walk in by Misha. And starts fanning himself, and then they have to push him away to go to his table. And I'm just standing there like, yes, Misha, do whatever you have to do, but yes,
Misha, sign this. Don't sign on Jared's face. Carry on.
And then when I get to Jared, I didn't even get to tell him where to sign. So they didn't ask me, and no one, like, I would just put it in front of them, and then they were like, and then Jared just signs on himself. I'm like, Jared, you're the only one who I didn't get to tell to sign, so you could have signed in the wrong spot here, boy.
He saw Jensen's and he took Jensen's. That was Jensen saying, I've got to tell Jared something. And that was what he did.
Jared, sign on it. I will say,
this is my guidance.
He gave you his best because there's an identifiable P in there, a mostly passable J. An argument could be made for a D, and then I don't know what happened at the end.
Yeah, like I feel like an L and a K, like those nice, those loops. He's trying. He's trying.
Well, it's not even. It's not that second loop is not even anywhere near a K. There's J and a P and a. But I'll give him that D. He gave you his best. He was like, I'm not going to fuck this up. I'm going to remember all the letters in my name and put down at least 3 of them. So he gave you his best. That's so fucking cute.
Oh, goodness.
But I was like prepared because he just signed it. And I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to take it back. And then instead he starts looking at it like really closely. I'm like, so I'm not going to take this back.
Okay, this is it's Jared's now. All right,
yeah.
Cool. I spent a lot of time and money.
Did you fear that for like a moment? Like, oh my God, he might keep this thing. And
no, but I was fearing more. I'm like, oh, he's actually looking at it.
Mm-hmm. You were enjoying that, yeah.
Oh well, no, my fear was more. I'm like, he's gonna want to talk, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk back. I'm like, this could go very badly, very fast. I'm like, I'm good when you guys just want to go hi, bye. You're good. Don't interrogate, like, don't interact.
Don't ask me questions about this thing. Just sign it and let me leave. Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah. So then he goes, "Did you make this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so he was like, and then he ends up calling Cliff over. Like, oh, this is going to be a long thing. I'm going to not make this out alive. So he had like Cliff over, and he's looking at it, and then they both go, like, remember, I've already passed like Misha, Jensen, Jared's my last guy for now. And I'm like, for that night. And so he's going, and I've already dealt with Jensen talking about he has to tell Jared something. And Jared's now going like, I bet Jensen couldn't get past this word. And I think he pointed at about like dead water. Like it wasn't far. And he's telling Cliff this. He's like, I bet Jensen couldn't get past here.
Oh, goodness.
And it was like, because they're just talking about each other. Like, oh my gosh.
That's lovely, though, because then I think Karlee and I were talking about this, like with my experience at DC, that you kind of hope that maybe your interaction, even if it's just for a split second, it ends up being something that then they like, oh, did you see that thing? Did you see that poster? You know, like that kind of stuff. Like that's
I guarantee.
Yeah, that's amazing. I guarantee
for both of you that they were like, hey, did you see that thing today? That poster that they made? That's freaking awesome. And for you, Sandra, it's definitely someone finally asked me why Dean does that. I've been waiting all these years, and now finally somebody asked me. Does he eat food normally on Big Sky? I haven't asked. Have you not seen him eat yet?
I've seen him eat, but I can't say that I've delved into the burger situation yet with him. I'm still trying to work on Dean, and every time I spot it in an episode, I'm making a note. Okay. It'll be a while. I think I'm going to do a poster like Jessica of just Dean eating burgers and when he ate them upside down, and then just present it. I feel like, here, explain yourself, please.
100%.
That's great. So then how long was he looking at the poster? I mean, was it Was it a good minute or so, or
It was a good while.
Okay.
Because it was long enough where like he had Cliff over, we were talking, and then he took out his phone to take a photo of.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because he had to ask me, is it good that are you fine if I take a photo of it?
Were you gonna
And
say
he
no?
take- no, I was-
If you'd have gone, no,
No,
it's
don't do
mine.
it. I was like, don't do it. It's
And
mine.
then him taking a photo was like so funny because he just used his like long arms just to blindly take
Aw.
a photo.
Yeah.
And it was like you don't even need to stand up to take a photo of this, do you? Yeah, but it was just like, yeah, no, it was not like some short like
Mm-hmm.
thing. It was like actually pretty.
It was an interaction. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
like
awesome.
and everything. And after that was like done, because luckily I didn't have to go do any more autographs for that day. No,
Mhm.
I think I did.
Mm.
I might have. No, I didn't. Because I ended up having to go die after that.
Yeah. It was a very long day too, because like, thank you, Alex, because I think like it was really
Blaming
late to get
you.
those autographs that one night. I think it was like 9 or 9:30 or something like that. Was it really late?
Mine was Saturday.
Okay.
It
That's
is,
right. That's
because-
the day that felt like really long too, though. The Saturday. No, wait.
Yeah.
I'm totally confused. I had to get two separate things, two separate nights. Sunday was really long. Yeah, I had to wait and get an autograph for Jensen on a photo, and that took forever because of Jack. Yeah, you're right. Saturday wasn't too bad. I think it was a little bit quicker than Charlotte. I can't remember. I feel like it might have been.
Yeah, Charlotte took forever because again,
Yeah.
they did all of their stuff.
Yeah, all in one day.
On
Yeah.
one day, and Jared takes forever because he wants to talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love him. It's one of those things where you're like, I love you, boy, but a little speed, just a little.
So
No, I fully disagree. Fully disagree. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Well,
I'll
the
stand there
person
for 20
in front of
minutes.
the person in front of me who wasn't a big Jared fan, I would have been like, if you don't like Jared enough, give me the pin. Because Jared was signing something for her, and gives her the Sharpie. And she wasn't really fond of it. I'm like, I will take that Sharpie.
She wasn't fond of it. She didn't want the Sharpie?
She was not very happy that he gave her the Sharpie.
What?
I would have been like, give me the Sharpie.
You name and shame this person right now. I'll track down their Twitter and send them a bit.
Gosh. Wow.
Oh my god. If nothing else, you'd be like, sweet, I could make $10 on eBay with this.
I know.
Legitimate, genuine Sharpie held by Jared Paddle. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I know. I was like, I will. It's like, girl.
Oh, that's
I know. I was like very sad. And then I was right next after it. And then I got my thing and I'm like,
well,
yes.
he was like, well, somebody's going to appreciate it. I'm surprised he didn't give you the Sharpie. Should have given you another Sharpie.
Oh yeah, and then the next time they're on stage, Jared's now in trouble for giving away Sharpies. We have to buy so many fucking Sharpies because he gives them to everybody.
Yeah, because he didn't know if it was hers or his.
I would have just said, yeah, thank you. He threw a Sharpie at Charlotte, and Ted and I were actually like, Ted almost got hit with the Sharpie. And for a split second, I don't know why we didn't think about grabbing it because we didn't know who had thrown it. They'd thrown it over. It was over the Jared like partition, and like a Sharpie just comes directly at us. We're like, whoa, and we're like, out of the way. If Ted had picked it up, we would have like kept it, but I don't know what happened to it. I think it bounced a little too far or whatever, but immediately you're like, you don't want to get hit in the head with something, but then it's like, oh, it's something that Jared probably touched. I should probably hold on to it. So yeah,
I would have gone after it. I nearly had a full-on fist fight with someone at a concert over a towel. That was my towel, and I caught one end of it, and they caught the other end of it, and we nearly came to blows over the towel.
Oh my goodness.
The towel is now in my house. It was my freaking towel. I would have gone after it now. Okay, I don't care who's it was. We're like, oh.
So Jessica, what's the plan for this poster? Because I know you're going to, are you still planning on going to 2 other cons? Are you still going to get some more?
I am, my current plan is I'm going back to Charlotte Con.
Okay.
And Hawaii.
Okay.
And I think they have Gil is set up to go.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get Gil, I'll have at least the Winchester side.
Okay.
So I still need Ruthie.
Yeah, she wasn't there at was it the DC when she wasn't?
Yeah,
wasn't there?
she had to call out for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I need her because you can't have a poser like this without Ruthie.
Right. Yeah.
Agree.
I hope to one day get Karlee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have some of the big ones I still want to get. And then I want to still get like Jim Beaver on there.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Pellegrino. But I have
Death would be nice. He didn't show up too. He got sick.
I was going.
Yeah.
Death was one of the ones that it was like he's not in that many episodes actually. So he was on the teetering thing.
Oh, but I still would have said yes. Come on, all the plot lines and everything. Yeah,
that's what that was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'm like my sister was trying to help me, and she's like, if they're not in this mini, they're off. Death is really important.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we're gonna have to add Death.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm like, he's super important.
And was Billy supposed to be there too, or am I confusing myself?
Billy has been meant to be in several one, but she canceled all her stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
She was one of my ones where I'm like, if I see her name, I'm like, she's gone.
Yeah. And Tim was supposed to Tim was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened, but I was because my parents bought me Tim Amison's auto and photo for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't so much for Kane, it was for Lassiter. That he played in Psych.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm a really big Psych fan also.
Gotcha.
And I knew him actually better as that. I wasn't aware he was in Supernatural for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, because you probably didn't watch those episodes, right? That he was in for a while.
Yeah,
only in two. Yeah.
It's all around Dean, so we were just been like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, storyline not important.
I mean, there's the whole Jensen stabbing Jared in the knee thing, but you wouldn't necessarily know about that on the first watch round. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I watched Red Meat because Jared was hurt, and that's one of those things. Like if Sam got hurt, I probably knew of that episode. Because
now, how did you get that information? Did you get that from the other people that that were into Super? Okay, Wikipedia. Of course, I forgot about Wikipedia.
How did you forget? We're on it now.
I know. Yes, I forgot though. I forgot that that's a thing that you just like check all the So wait, does it actually like says these are the episodes that Sam dies in?
No. What I would do is this: I'd read the season and I'd be like this. Dean was doing nope, don't care. Sam was hurt. Sam's hurt. Got it. What's the episode? Sam's hurt this episode? Okay.
That's
brilliant. I'd skip and I'd be like, so Sam's hurt right here. Then Dean's off doing something. I'm like, nope. Sam, back to Sam. That's how like if I don't like a show enough, like I'm tried Winchesters and it upset me.
Aww.
So I'm like, I like John.
Mm-hmm.
Every other character has made me mad. So I'm like, so
in the Winchesters.
Yeah, in the Winchesters. So
even Carlos, he is bad.
I really don't like him.
Oh,
I know.
I'm devastated. I thought we were friends.
I'm sorry.
You bonded over Sam and Jared, and now you're out here hating on my other long head. I'm sad. That's fair enough. It's not for everybody.
Oh goodness.
But
John, yes, but yeah, not
specifically.
Okay.
Why? Tell me why you hate him. I need to know.
I just don't like in what he was making, and it was more probably the writers than at times. It's just when they were having really heavy scenes, and then he would come in with a joke.
Oh, so like making him the
Oh.
comic relief in a way that
Yeah.
maybe you didn't think was necessary, like at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, and I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
No,
it's a
that's fair.
serious scene, and I want it serious. Because I'm like, I was good
She
with
wants
how-
it serious. She wants it sad, and she wants her dead Sam.
That's right.
I've never met anybody that watches TV to be sad before. That's great.
Like right now in like Walker's going through like horrible stuff right now, and I'm like, I'm sorry guys, but we're going good. You got hurt, Walker. I
don't watch Walker, but I heard about the Thanksgiving episode where his kid cursed out his grandma, and I'm like, he's gonna be a hurt Walker if he doesn't slap some sense to that boy. Good lord. But I tried. I will fess up, I tried so hard because I was like, oh my god, it's Jared, and I really hate it. I can't watch it.
I'm gonna be like, I watched the original Walker, and everything, and like when I watch it now, it's more like comedy relief.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I watch this Walker, I love to compare it to old Walker.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, this is what Chuck Norris never was. And everything. I'm like, Chuck, this is what you could have learned from. And I was a big fan of old Walker. So
oh goodness.
That I guess for me, that's how like I looked at it, was like all that. Like I couldn't watch Friday the 13th for what it's worth. And I love Jarrett, but I could not watch that. I tried I watched Christmas Cottage as a young kid. But what made it hard now is, and I don't know if any of you ever have seen the actual artist Thomas Kincaid talk.
No,
I haven't. No.
Okay, if you ever want comedy, watch the guy sell himself. And my dad and me joke, which way we go, we think we know how Jared got the role, which is Jared will sometimes talk about himself in third person.
okay.
And I always find it funny because it's like Jared will just be going and be like, he'll start talking, and he goes, Jared did this. And then he catches himself. Well, we were watching QVC one day. Guy goes, he's selling his art, and he goes, Thomas Kincaid did this beautiful piece. He's a great artist. You're Thomas Kincaid. And you're talking about yourself, but you're not. And he's just going on, and we're just watching it, and he's literally just keeps going, Thomas Kincaid uses beautiful art and pieces and this. And you're like, yes, Thomas Kincaid.
Aww.
That's great.
So we're like, so that's how Jerry got the role.
Gotcha.
Yes. I didn't know he'd been in a Christmas movie until like this year. So I think I'm gonna force my husband into watching that because he made me watch Love Actually, and that's terrible. So even if the movie sucks, I'm like, we're gonna watch it full. Well, you made me sit through that abortion of a film.
And it's Christmas, so yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that one because where it takes place was also because it was kind of close to where a place where we used to live.
Okay.
In California.
Okay.
All right.
And everything. So my dad really knew the place, and he's like, this looks nothing like it.
Was it filmed in like Vancouver or something?
I think it is filmed in Vancouver, but yeah, it was just
oh goodness.
But no, I just like my characters. Like my favorite characters have to be the ones who get hurt. If they're not hurt enough, I'm not happy with them. I'm like, you need to get hurt at least enough this season for me to be happy with you.
I don't know why you don't like Dean then.
My thing with Dean was like, again, when I first watched it, I'm like, Dean, I don't understand what you're telling me. And then I came to appreciate Dean.
Mm-hmm.
When I rewatched it, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about rewatching stuff, right? So have you gotten through it all now? Like, have you watched every episode?
I am on my 4th rewatch.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Amazing.
Yeah, dedication.
Wow. Are you picking up new things every time you watch, or do you really like invest the time to watch it, or is it kind of just like something maybe in the background as you're doing something when you're creating your art, or are you really like, I'm gonna like give this my, like, by the 4th rewatch, are you like, okay.
Oh no, each time I'm like really watching it.
Wow.
And I noticed some new things. Like, it took me a few times to realize Cass was the bastard who released Sam. Even though they showed him, and I don't know how I missed that every time. I'm like, Cass, how did I miss you? Like, the bastard who released Sam. I'm watching you now, buddy.
Oh gosh.
Has Sandra filled you in? Because she came to Supernatural. I'm gonna throw you right under the bus, girl.
That's
right
fine. I think I told her, but yeah, you can go ahead.
Because Sandra came to Supernatural from Gilmore Girls, so she came with Jared, and all the way through the first few seasons, she was like, "Yep, Sam. Tell her when you gave up on Sam. You tell her right now when you gave up on him."
It was season 6. Yeah.
Season fucking 6. Soulless Sam with the best body Jared has ever had. And she was like, nah, I like the little one. Nah. That pains me. It still pains me to this day. I'm going to keep throwing you under that bus because it's appalling.
But it goes right in line with what Jessica was saying too. Like, I think I appreciated
Sam too put together for you.
Yes,
the first few
Sam and
seasons.
all of his mess was was just too put together for me. I had to go with the one that couldn't express his
Anything.
Oh my god!
No.
Sam was one of my favorite though.
Yeah,
because he's just so angry at times.
I adore. I genuinely think Soulless Sam and Meg Sam are like my all-time favorite Sams.
So that was born under a bad sign, right? Like you said, Jessica, that's the one that you've seen over and over again, right? When he's like possessed by Meg.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meg Sam is I don't know how many times I've seen that one, because again, it's like if I have a bad day or something and I just happen to turn the TV on, that one's always on.
It's like it just knows this is what Jessica
needs.
No.
I was like, this is how creepy it is. It's like I was in the hospital for something.
Mm-hmm.
We turned the TV on and it was on.
Oh my god!
It was like, thank you, Meg Sam. We're there.
Oh, Meg Sam is like, I like base Sam. I do like base Sam, but if you couldn't have base Sam, I think I'd have Meg Sam, and then I'd have Soulless Sam, and Lucifer Sam can be all the way over there. I'm not a fan.
Meg Sam for me, one of the reasons I know a lot of people. There's people who don't like it, but it's like one of the reasons I like it is I did not like Joe, and it was not because of like, oh, she was a love interest. I just did not like Joe. Like, one of the main episodes I remember the most.
Oh, but not the one where she dies.
Yes, that was it.
Jessica's writing the listeners like favorite episode.
It was marked. I was like, yes. One of those characters I was upset who didn't die was Claire.
Wow.
I was bacon. I hated Claire.
Why? Explain the Joe. So what was it about? What was it about Joe that you really didn't like?
I think I didn't like because she sometimes became too whiny for me, and I'm like, girl, you whine again.
So if there's a certain amount of whining, you want them off. Like just hurry up and kill them.
That was my issue with Claire too. It was like Claire was going on about like the whole thing that happened to her, like they left me and blah blah blah. It's like, and they gave you Jody. Get over it.
Yeah,
hard love.
No, I can
There's some hard love from Jessica.
No, I can see. I like that. Whiny, no. Nearly dead, yes.
See, I think you would have liked that Claire was giving Cass such a hard time.
Yeah, fuck him.
No, Cass. What it was that way with Cass on that one was just the fact that like Cass sometimes was like, I want to suddenly be her father, and it's like, Cass,
no.
No.
Yeah.
There is no second tries.
Oh.
You tried the first time, you screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
And now, 2, you suddenly want to be her father. And then you ditch her and we stop going. Like that storyline just ended.
Yeah. Again, sometimes I think the writers are just they just don't do what they should be doing with the characters and like really following through on a lot of threads. So that's
Well,
frustrating.
The other thing I don't know is, and it could be the actress too, because they switch Claire. She's not the original girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like the wife and Claire, I don't know why they switched them. And everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when she got bit by a werewolf, I was begging for death. I was like, there's a bullet for her, and I'm here for that. I was like prepared. I was like, so she's dead.
We're like experiencing Dark Jessica here. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh god.
I do. I love that. I love that you're all in on this though. You're like, nope. Die. No, now is the time. I admire that.
So who are you most upset that was killed off, Jessica? Besides whatever we're talking about, like with the, the end of season 15 or whatever, like what other like supporting character would be like really gutted you, and you just like, maybe that's the episode you never watch after you watched it one time. You would never watch it again.
15-20.
Yeah.
I have to think. I have, because half of the time when they die, I'm like, I get why they died.
Yeah.
I like to see Mick more. I loved him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ketch could have died, but I loved Mick. There could have been a switch around there. I did. Yeah, Mick probably was one, because I was liking their like dynamic with Mick a lot, and then he gets killed. I'm like, oh, Mick.
Okay.
Tried so hard.
I think for me, it's like, it's a tie. Well, there's a lot of them, but like Bobby's death and Charlie, I just didn't understand why they did that to her. And Crowley, I understand.
If you say you hate Charlie now, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, do you hate Charlie?
End the Zoom.
Do you hate Charlie, Jessica?
Oh no, I love Charlie.
Okay, good.
Woo-hoo!
I was hovering over the end meeting. Nope.
But yeah, that and Crowley, I think, because Crowley, I just didn't understand. Like, I understood this, that they didn't know what to do with the character, but I felt like they could have just done something so much better for him. Yeah,
Crowley was. I love Crowley. One character, I think they could have kept dead was Elena. I think is her name.
Elena?
Yeah.
Oh, Abaddon.
No, it's
No?
Jared. It's Sam's like
Eileen?
girlfriend. Yeah.
I went Amelia then. And I was like, I don't think she's dead, but she should be.
I'm good with killing her too, but
so no Eileen. You're not a big Eileen fan.
So my issue with Eileen, and it's an issue I have with a lot of series.
Okay.
It's when you force a relationship that's just not really there. It's just like, and so you saw each other once, bam, you're in a relationship, and you're like, there was no buildup.
Yeah, and again, I think that's the writers too, right? Like just kind of like bringing a character in when it's helpful for plot, and maybe not doing. They did a little bit of background though, and that, like, Sam, I think, trying to learn sign language and stuff like that, or that you could tell, but then they kind of killed her, and then brought her back 3 seasons later, I think. Season 15,
she comes back in 15.
Do
you feel the same way about Lisa though? Because we didn't really see anything of Lisa apart from that one episode where we were like, is it Dane's boy or is it not? And then the next time we see Lisa, they're all shacked up playing Happy Families.
Well, like Lisa, it's like they gave you a little background, like he had a summer. Like, okay, he had a summer, so I understand that. Lisa, I still don't like you, but I really don't like your kid though. I really don't like your kid. Like that whole episode, I don't like because I don't like her kid. I'm
Okay.
like, and I felt like for that episode, it was even her and the kid. I felt more for the other victim we never find out about
Mm,
because I'm like, you know, that
Yeah.
poor wife that had that
Mhm.
child that she tried to
Yeah.
drown and we
Yeah,
never find
yeah.
out. I want to know
Mhm.
about her.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You and your kid, Lisa.
Sarah, she was one I was really upset they killed.
Which one's Sarah?
And
Which one's Sarah?
Sarah is, I believe her name was Sarah. She should have been the one that she worked at a painting.
In season 1, and then she comes back and Crowley kills her off. The
Yeah.
girlfriend that
Yeah.
would have been girlfriend for Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
with the
freaking
haunted painting.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought she was amazing because she was just like, I am cool with this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, I think she was good.
Aw.
But
What could have
what do you-
been
How do you feel about Madison then? If we're going on just one time, little bits.
the werewolf.
The werewolf that Sam has to shoot over the world's most heart-wrenching fucking song. And he's like
Well,
bawling
yeah,
and going,
she
no,
was
I'll
another
do
one.
it. She's
I was
my
like-
dog.
yeah, she was another one I was really upset about.
Mhm.
Some of his girlfriends, I was just like, no, you're better off.
So what about
Yeah.
Jessica?
Well,
What about the death that kicked it all off? Yeah. What about Jessica? What about that one? I hated Jessica so much. I'm sorry.
Carly, really?
Mhm.
Okay. I don't think I ever knew that. Jessica
I'm
thoughts on Jessica?
Jessica thoughts on Jessica.
I don't feel like we know that much about her at times, but
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm actually kind of cool with her death because he needs something.
to be
To kick it
upset
off.
about.
I wanted to know more about Brady, to be honest.
Is
Because
that the demon that was like friends with him
Yeah,
in college?
I wanted
okay.
to know about Brady.
Mhm.
But what I also want to know about was like his thing with Crowley, because like the thing I always thought was interesting with Sam was Sam had the whole thing with Dean and being called Sammy.
Mhm.
And I don't know if anyone ever caught it, which was he gets called Samantha a few times and he never makes any issues.
Mm. Mhm.
I'm like, so you have problems with Sammy, but not Samantha?
Sammy's like a kid's nickname though. Samantha that's just Dean being Dean. That's
No, that wasn't Dean. That was Crowley. who
Yeah,
would call
Crowley
him
does that.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it Crowley? Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
Samantha. Yeah, the way he does.
Oh god, no. We can now never release this episode because someone somewhere is now putting Sam Winchester on a pedestal, some kind of trans icon that was secretly trans for
Aw.
like 15 years.
Aw.
And we can't put this out into the universe now. I dead ass before this episode saw someone tweeting about how Sam was some kind of queer icon because he never explicitly said that he was straight. And I'm like, he fucked women exclusively for the entire show. And I know your Destiel ship was a thirsty, but calm down.
It's just kind of amazing what people try to come up with.
The
I
lengths
think.
people will go to.
Yeah.
The lengths.
Absolutely. Oh, Jessica, we could talk to you for hours, but it's been an
Genuinely,
hour and a
yes.
half. I want you to say, before we wrap up a little bit, talk a little bit about your artwork, like maybe what you used to create it, what some completed works, what are some current projects you're working on, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put links in the description so people can take a look at all of your great stuff. But just talk about your artwork a little bit, like what got you started with it. Too, I'm curious about that. Like, what was your artistic spark? I guess, have you always drawn? Have you always like been into that stuff?
Yeah, I've always kind of drawn all that. I kind of do like when I was in school and stuff, I do like original stuff. I still do original stuff, but when it comes to like fan art and everything, it depends on what talks to me more.
Okay.
If I'm in, even though I'm in like some other stuff that kind of like as big as like Supernatural, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
It almost has to be like, it has to like, something has to like spark an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So like the piece I kind of just finished today, which was John and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an idea of like kind of like between the Winchesters, seeing enough of that, and then the fact that he's so disturbed and knowing he's so disturbed is like, which is like the idea of like, well, could she have, but we know she was a ghost at home and stuff, but it was the thing of like, well, what if she was instead attached to him because he has something of her? He's like, he thinks she's haunting him, but he's instead just hallucinating, and it's just driving him mentally insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, what if that happens? Then some of the pieces kind of are more like, I guess you could almost say like, I don't know, first person or whatever. I did one where it's like a Rowena like reaching out to you to take her hand.
I saw that one. It was great.
Thank you. I'm planning to do a whole series called Come Join the Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a whole thing of like Sam, Dean, Cass, Crowley, like a whole bunch of people.
Okay.
And in that kind of vein, and you can like pick and choose almost like who would you want to come join the hunt with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll basically be like reaching out to you, and
Nice.
you get to come, almost feel like I get to come join the hunt with them. Then, so like those kind of ideas, like that one was because their taglines join the hunt. So I thought, well, they're basically asking you like join the hunt. So it's like, well, what if you come join the hunt? Sometimes it's songs I'm listening to at the time.
Okay. Have you done any Hurt Sam?
Huh?
Have you done any Hurt Sam?
I haven't done Hurt Sam. I am doing a Hurt Walker poster.
Okay.
I can't, it's in the progress because I need to know how he's going to break. We've seen him throughout the first 2 seasons and the beginning of this one. We're seeing him crack and then mend, but we haven't seen him like break.
Like rock bottom, like, and then
like just fully shatter. And I need him to shatter.
Okay. Need him to shatter.
Yeah. It sounds horrible, but I need him to shatter.
It's going to come when he smacks that boy upside the head. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be like, oh no, I am actually a terrible parent. That'll be your moment. I'm sorry, I don't like Walker. I try.
And I kind of need that because I'm doing the pictures like a first season to the 3rd season.
Okay.
And it's going to be kind of like it's slowly breaking, and then it should shatter at the end.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds cool.
But until I know how he can how he shatters, I don't know how it shall break at the end. Do
you think that's going to happen in this season?
The preview, his interview said he should be hitting rock bottom.
Should be hitting any day now.
Any day. It's really piling up. Like he's literally having like PTSD.
He's having PTSD. Yeah.
It's going. So I need.
You're making me all interested. Oh,
I'm telling you, fast forward through some of it, Karlee. Just to try, even if it's just the 3rd. I think if you start at the 3rd season, because we do not like the dead wife motif.
We've talked about this, Sandra. I can't start the 3rd season. I'll have to start at the beginning, and then I'm going to have to go through all the dead wife stuff.
I'm going to be honest. It's been getting better. The 3rd season is probably the best.
And they only had one, as far as I know, I do fast forward through some of it. I've only seen one dead wife episode in season 3. I feel like it was when he was caged up. She showed up.
Yeah,
Does she show up again? I don't think she does.
No, she doesn't. Okay. That I know of. But yeah, I think she might show up a few more times later in the season, but it's basically because of his mental thing.
Yeah. See, that was another way. That was another thing. because they was like all the promo pics, and they were like, "Hi, we tie him up, we put him in a cage," and I was like, "This is 3 seasons into a show I don't like. Why are you doing this to me? Now you're making me want to watch it, and I can't just watch these nice episodes where he's all tied up and beaten. No, I'll have
But
to
that's what
start right
Jessica
at the freaking
did.
beginning."
Oh yeah.
Take Jessica's lead.
I do have ones for Jensen that I'm gonna be doing.
Okay.
Which is like choose your character. So it'll be like a fight. You can choose like it will be like choose your battle character. So it'll be like Soldier Boy or Presley.
Oh, that's
like,
cute.
so it'll be like good guys versus bad guys that he's done.
Oh, nice.
Because Jared doesn't have enough characters, so he doesn't get one.
He did like 5 or 6 movies.
He
I don't know how
hasn't.
good any of them were, but he did them.
He's too low on the cast
Mm.
to have it.
Oh,
And
okay.
I need more higher on the cast like Jensen was. So
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So that could happen eventually. That could happen eventually.
It won't. He's settled into his CW niche. He's never gonna leave. We're gonna get to season 19 of Walker and Walker, and we'll be going, "Jared, stop. Please stop." He'll be like, "Nope." He'll never leave.
Oh.
but yeah, no, yeah, some of them also come from like fan fiction stuff that I read because I was trying to draw a mermaid.
Okay.
Draw a mermaid, and instead it turned out to be Sam as a siren.
Oh. Okay.
And that one was just a real fast sketch, but I was like, I'm gonna draw a mermaid girl, and now it's Jared as a siren.
It's the hair. It's the hair, isn't it? It always throws you off. You start drawing nice girly hair, and then you're like, "Oh shit, that's Jared." Whoops.
Goodness.
Yeah, sometimes it's not like what I'm planning. One I have to start soon because I did a Dean typography of him with the whistle. So it said it was all done with words, and it was this whistle makes me their god. It took me 2 months.
Yeah.
And it took me 2 months because of his hair. Because I screwed up going, I'm going to do each individual hair follicle as words. And that took me 2 months. And so I'm like, so instead, I'm going to do the sacrifice scene where Jared is going to have always keep fighting and it short abbreviation. And on Jensen's side, it will say you're not alone. And then it'll meet up and mix together.
Nice.
And that will probably take me 5 years.
I think I've seen some of your stuff. I think you showed me too. The what is that called exactly? That type of style where it's just like words that are kind of like creating the
typography.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And I did a brief version of that where I wrote it all. I haven't done the actual version where it's like the Dean one. I'm hoping not end up like how I did with the Dean one where I did every individual hair follicle because Sam's hair is going to destroy me.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Oh yeah, you'll
can't
be
do
there
that to
forever.
yourself. Yeah.
That's why I think I'm like, oh Sam, I'm looking at you. Then I'm hoping to do one of Rob where it's musical lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I have a lot of different ideas. And then every time I think I finished an idea, about 5 more come in and I'm like in my mind and I'm like, listen, mind, we have a backlog already. And we need to stop. So yeah. They sometimes don't.
Oh, yeah, we have the same issue with writing fiction too. Like we'll be writing something and then we'll get another idea and it's like, no, I should probably finish this one first.
You're midway through something and you see like a picture or a video and you're like, oh, I want to do that now. Son of a bitch. But you're midway through and you know if you abandon this, you will never come back to it. So
you gotta start. They've just gotta they've got to cut it out with all the inspiration and stuff. Just stop it. Just stop it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that was like I have like a whole group of ideas and then my mind's like, you know what we should do? make a Discord channel. I'm like, no, we should not. So instead I made a Discord channel like really long. I'm like, that's what we're gonna do. Make a Discord channel. So I was like in the midst of that while trying to finish another thing. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
So I ended up finishing both of those today. I'm like, okay.
Good. Well, congratulations. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I need to do. It's like, but no, yeah, my art thing though, it mixes. Sometimes it's hand, so like charcoal, color pencil, anything like that, or it's digital.
Okay.
So
for this poster, this will be my last question for you. For the poster that you did, please tell me you did not type out every single one of these titles and you just copied and pasted and then did something with it, or did you?
I typed out every single one.
Oh,
I even
honestly,
had to go.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I even had to go physically find their font style.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing, but I'm just like, that must have taken you a while too.
It took a while. And then sometimes if I screwed up, it would be like I screw up with dead, because I'd end up writing Dean.
As one does.
One game where it was like Dean in water. And wherever it was like dead, it would become Dean.
Aww.
And it was like,
oh goodness,
and everything. And it was like, I think it was like children shouldn't play with dead things. It was like children shouldn't play with Dean things. It was like,
they definitely should not though.
Yeah.
I'm making that the title of this podcast episode.
Children shouldn't play with Dean things.
Yep.
Yes.
Writing it down right now. That's what we're doing.
Fully agree.
That is awesome. Oh goodness. Jessica, this has been great. Thank you. I'm so glad that I got to chat with you again, because I don't know if I'm ever going to actually see you again in person when it comes to cons and stuff like that. I know you said you're going to Charlotte, and Hawaii sounds like it's going to be lovely. Is your sister going with you to any of these again, like she did to DC?
Yeah, she's going to Hawaii, and then she'll probably go with me to Charlotte.
Nice.
Because again, I'm making her watch all of Supernatural, so she has to be finished all 15 seasons by Hawaii.
Well, she has time then, because that's not till what, November? When is that next year?
Yeah. November 14th, I think.
Okay.
So she's on season 5. So she has to be done by season 5 by this month.
And did I hear right that she's picked a character that she's
like trying to be coy with it, but yeah, she's picked a character.
Okay.
She picked Dean.
Okay.
Betrayingly.
Okay.
There's no accounting for taste, is there?
She likes to go around calling him salty little fella.
I mean, he is though, and I love that.
I love that.
My mom also, because I got my mom to watch it. So hers is Dean, and then my dad will watch it sometimes, and his is Bobby.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's the best.
That's
great.
Love it. That's great.
So, I'm on my own island of Sam.
Well, you have
No,
Karlee.
you're not. I'm not with you. It's our island of Sam.
And the thing is, like, my mom, she watched it. She watched Gilmore Girls and Days of Our Lives when when Jensen was on there. So
she has that background, I guess.
Yeah, she has background for both of them, but
she chose.
She's absolutely horrible at coming over and telling me things, because she'll be like, "So, Sam," and then she'll like flip it, and I'm like, "You mean Dean?" I don't know what character you're talking about. And then she'll tell me an episode. I'm like, that never happened in that episode. So yeah, they'll come over and try to tell me something, and I'll be like, no.
That's great though that you got the whole family on board. It was fun meeting. It's Jenny, right? Your sister Jenny. Yeah, she kind of like tagged along. I know she had a thing for Jake, like at the convention too. So,
yeah, she had Jake and Kim.
Okay,
like that was her big ones, were Jake and Kim. And Yeah, she was really big for those too.
Nice.
And the funniest thing was when she was there, she ended up hooking up, started liking Brianna.
Uh-huh.
And I have to keep telling her because she's like, so Brianna's going to join in this season. I'm like, Brianna's not joining for a long time.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing too, right? Like how long it is before you actually see some characters on the show. And even like rewatching with my husband, because he loves Rowena. And we were rewatching, I think we're on season like 6. He's like, so how much longer? I said, oh, honey, you got like four more seasons before we get through. He's like, okay. He's like, I just didn't know where I was anymore in the timeline.
Yeah, my sister was, because she's not really fond of Cass's voice and everything.
Okay.
So she's like, he's so monotoned. And I'm like, yeah. And then when she finally got to the Jimmy episode, she's like, I love Jimmy's voice. And then he gets killed.
Yeah.
And she's just like so devastated.
Aw.
So when we were making the Discord thing, she just writes in one of the channels, she's like, long live Jimmy. It's like, she's just devastated.
Okay. I love it.
Awesome. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up. What we usually do is we do our whole outro after our guests say bye for now, but it was lovely to have you. We want to keep like plugging your art and stuff. So we'll keep watching it and like retweeting or whatever, all your stuff. But yeah, and maybe at some point, maybe I can get you to talk you into maybe drawing a little something for the podcast. Maybe I might hit you up and see if you might be up for something maybe at some point. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, like just wrapping up or anything? I mean, aside from just, your love of Hurt Sam and all that. As I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What you love that. No, but I won't do that to you. But no, just it was great. It was great catching up. I love the stories, and I want to hear about your stories from Charlotte too. So maybe we'll have to have you back on so you can like let us know what that was like, what connection you made with Jared again.
Yeah. And if you end up going to CharlotteCon next year, Sandra, we'll have to have a TED debrief and a Jessica debrief, because y'all all have different things to say. Yeah,
we do. Ted's very much on the whole like logistics of the whole thing too. And just like, nope. He'll give you like hotel critique, all that stuff. So yeah. We'll have to like do that. But yeah.
But before you go, Jessica, I just want to say thank you in person, because I literally freaked out when you tagged us in your Spotify Wrapped. And I didn't punch him in the arm, but I was like, baby! Like, backhanded my husband. It was like, look at this! So, thank you for being such a dedicated listener.
Yes.
My husband wishes I didn't beat him. But also, he needed to know. And after the Jared thing, he should be lucky that all he got was a little backup.
Oh, Thank you, Jessica. we appreciate the support.
I want to say thank you.
Yes.
Huge thank you. I'm glad you keep listening.
All right. Well, we will let you go.
Yeah.
And have a great rest of your day. Good luck with all your artwork, and keep us updated.
100%. Thank you for coming. Have a great day, sweetie.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Wasn't it weird though to talk all about Supernatural and just not talk about Fix at all?
I know.
Kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my whole thing too. Like we're, the whole tagline is supernatural and fan fiction. So every once in a while, I think it's nice to kind of like do a cleanse, and just talk about what kind of created all of that mess, all that fan fiction and stuff to begin with. So, and I knew you'd get a kick out of the Jared, all the Jared stuff and what he smells like, and
I knew
and
it.
all that.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my soul, I was like, this is a man that smells fresh.
I told you, I feel like at DC Con in particular, I was just surrounded by so many Sam lovers that it was like they were there in your place, like in your stead. Like, it was just like that's what was happening.
I gotta tell you right now, if you'd taken a photo with Jared, like Jessica took photos with Jared, I would not have been all right. I know I gave you like tacit permission and was like, no, you go, you hug that man. If you had hugged him to the point where he was crushing your soul, we would have had to chat about it.
Oh my God. Oh, well, I guess I still can't do any photo ops with him.
I
what if I just do a semi hug and try to keep like the Holy Spirit between the both of us from the bottom down? I could try to do that.
I think now that you've touched him and now that like it's happened, I think
It's
I'd probably be all right with it.
We can ease into it.
If the first photo, hey, you eased into it, you were like plexiglass.
I did.
You know, next to, and then you went in for a hug.
Yeah.
If you'd have just hurled me into the deep end with, you said I could touch Jared, so I squeezed his fucking soul, I might not have been all right.
Oh gosh.
So those photos are so cute, and the stories that went along with them.
Yeah,
were so freaking
that's what
cute.
I love too, and I love how like again you just get to relish in something that you really enjoy with another person, and I think that's at the end of the day that's what can be so very lovely about fandom, even though it can be so ridiculous and on all that other extreme, but just finding someone that like again, and I love that she loves Sam so much and like, could care less about like Jensen, and like those stories are just so, they're just so fun. Yeah.
Wait, Darren, no. That's amazing. I would have paid good money to see his face. I really
like,
would.
What? What?
No. No. That would have been so good.
We wanted to say big thank you to Jessica for coming on, talking about her artwork, talking about her experience with Jared, the conventions, her overall thoughts about the show, and Hurt Sam, giving her joy. I just loved having her on to talk with us.
She is lovely. And you are welcome back anytime, sweetie. Yeah. Anytime at all.
And we will definitely put links to all of her stuff in the description so you can find her stuff. Buy some of her stuff. Like I said, I've got a mouse pad. It's great. I love it. I love being able to look and just enjoy the artwork. And from what I could see on her Redbubble, I think she's got a lot of different options. So take a look at her stuff. Take a look at her artwork. It's all really great. And the fact that she spends so much time on it, I think is just really lovely. And the commitment to that is wonderful.
I went through her Redbubble. She has a really cute squirrel and moose one.
Oh, yeah.
Sam and Deanie in onesies.
Yeah. I think I remember her showing me that one too. Yeah. It's just great stuff. So yeah, we're going to wrap up and say, if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com or reach out to us on Twitter at idlingintheletterd_Impala. You can find links to our personal socials and our AO3 accounts also in the description. And there's also a link to my website with my original fiction.
You should definitely go check out the original fiction.
Thank you.
You will also find in the description a link to our Ko-fi page if you feel able to and you want to give a little donation, as thanks for all the hard work that goes into this podcast. We would be endlessly grateful. And also, we got merch, y'all. So much merch. Jesus. There's so much merch, guys. Good Lord. So go check out our merch. We got t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters with various different designs on them. So go treat yourself. And with that, we will say thank you very much for joining us in the backseat, guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.